Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Welcome to ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, the podcast and posse. I'm your host, Tiffany, and I may be in a mood today. Lucky for you. You know, when I'm in a mood, there's some sass coming. It is always something that you need to hear. But these are the episodes when I finish recording, I'm like, God, should I delete and re-record? Like, was I annoying? Was I too much? Was I going too far with it? Did I bore people? That's when all my stuff comes up, because it's vulnerable when I am speaking truth and passion in that manner, right? It's raw and real me. And I'm always raw and real, but we have multifaceted moods. I mean, I'm a moody bitch. I don't know about you, but it can change by the hour over here sometimes. But when I'm in this kind of sassy, like zero fucks given mood, you never know what's going to come out of my mouth. And it's truly uncensored. And I know that can ruffle some people's feathers. But what ends up happening is those are the episodes that you guys love the most. So I have to remind myself that when I feel awkward. And I know you have that same feeling too. When you go to maybe post a video or even a reel, or maybe you're interviewed on a podcast and you're like, oh God, that was terrible. I feel awkward. I feel so uncomfortable. I should go in and delete it. I want to hide. Most likely it is not because you were bad. It's because you spoke truth, and it's very vulnerable to do that. You showed up as you. You didn't show up with some like politically correct version of you, or with a mask or some kind of a wall up. And that's the stuff that actually converts. That's what people want to see. That's how we make real friends and real connections, and why so many people really are eager and excited to work with me, because they know exactly who they're going to get. They know they'll be safe in working with me. Like, I've got you. I really do. But in order for that to translate in whatever business you have, the catch is, because I always tell you the catch, is you really have to show up as the multifaceted, raw, and real you. We're talking today about what to do when nothing feels like it's working in your life and you're one step away from quitting. By the way, this is inspired by my own life. Yes, it is. And so many of my clients, some people close to me, we thought January was the crazy month, because that normally is the crazy month. Nor did I think it would extend to February. Nor did I think that February, in this last, I would say, 10-day period, was the wildest 10-day period I probably have had in my life. Like, I really couldn't make up the stuff that happened. I'm still processing it in total bewilderment of it. And with the private clients, the people who are inside my mastermind, inside my posse membership, you guys who I speak to in the DMs, I know I'm not alone in this. There's something going on. It's truly insane. And I know a lot of you are at the point now where you're like, oh my God, what is going on in my business? I feel like I'm doing all the things and getting crap results. I genuinely feel like I'm showing up, I'm being uncomfortable. I have the freebie, I'm doing the hashtags, I'm doing videos. Now I have to do reels. And I set out for 2022 to be my breakout year, or for me to go to the next level. And I'm not getting really any evidence of that happening. Or maybe you started to get a little and now you have none. And it feels defeating and frustrating. And It kind of pops your balloon. Is that a phrase? I don't know. We're gonna go with it. It feels deflating. This last 10 days has been so crazy it involves the FBI, and I'm not joking. Like, the FBI is involved. That's one area of my life. Thank you. Like, and no, I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't commit a crime. I might need to say that to you guys. Did you know that I was voted most likely to be seen on Cops in my senior yearbook of high school? Like, it's in print. Obviously, that show's not on anymore, but I think it's that's like the OG reality show. Bad boys, what you gonna do when they come for you? Isn't that the song? I used to watch that. I feel like it was on all the time. It was constantly on. Yeah, I was a little concerned about my parents and my grandparents seeing that that's what I was voted. Of all the things I could be voted. And the other thing I was voted was least likely to ever be seen back at a reunion. Facts. I mean, that one was accurate. The Cops one, I mean, I would say of all the people in my senior class, if they were to give that, if they had to have that award, I don't know who thought about that. I would say I probably was the most deserving. I am highly protective of people I care about. Whether you're my client, you're my friend, you're someone who's just a solid person I know. And if someone comes for you, someone treats you like crap, someone threatens you, someone makes you feel like shit, there's some bullshit remarks made, I come for you. Now, I have it managed as an adult, but it was not managed well. And I was in a boarding school, so there were lots of mean girls. Like, what's the show Gossip Girl? If you remember the show Gossip Girl, it was like a Gossip Girl vibe. There was a lot of that going on, and I was not a mean girl. But those mean girls, man, isn't it funny how those bitches are usually like super ugly, and like they turn out being like ugly and really overweight later in life? Like, rarely do they maintain that kind of mean popular girl image. It's very gratifying when I see that. So you're doing all the things, nothing is working. Probably stuff in your personal life feels heavy and it's not working because you're processing something there too. They just go hand in hand. When people say, oh, you have to separate your business and personal life. I'm sorry, but when you're going after your dream and you're wanting to create financial freedom and even a legacy for yourself and your family, no, it's not separated. I don't know where the hell that came from. Probably some corporate speak. That's not possible. They're interwoven. They're just interwoven. They're like two, like Atlantic and Pacific Ocean coming together, and the waves don't match sometimes. They crisscross. The waters look different, but they've got to work together. Otherwise, you're going to constantly be fighting against riptides on either one and end up really exhausted. And a lot of you are in that spot. You know, you're trying to show up as the mom. You're trying to show up as the wife or the husband. You're trying to show up for your kids. You're trying to show up for your business. You're trying to show up for your clients. You're trying to show up for yourself. And that's what usually ends up coming last. So that's the first thing I want to focus on, is when nothing feels like it's working in your life and you're one step away from quitting, it's because your energy exchange is way off. You've been putting way too much out and not getting anything poured back into you. And so you're depleted, you're even resentful, you're cunty. We have to fix that. And if you're feeling that way, I would rather us be able to catch it before it gets to this point, but we don't always catch this stuff. You need to be poured back into. You've been pouring too much out and not prioritizing yourself and not getting poured into by anyone in your life. And we've got to fix that. That's usually when you get to that point, doing too much. On the other hand, there's some of you who are doing too little. You're toe dipping in your business. You're procrastinating. You set out for these goals in 2022. You've not done your part, and you know damn well you haven't. You're sitting in shame about it, guilt about it, frustration with yourself about it. Why don't I follow through? What's wrong with me? I want all this, and then I'm not doing the things. You are eating up so much energy in that shame spot, and I'm very familiar to shame. It's a core emotion that I go to because it was developed in my childhood. So I can go to shame pretty fast, but all it does is eat up your energy. It serves no purpose. It absolutely does nothing. But there's a payoff that we get when we're sitting in that. You don't have to do anything when you're sitting in shame and beating yourself up and calling yourself a piece of shit or lazy or whatever you call yourself. It doesn't get you anywhere. Same with comparisonitis. That eats up a ton of time and energy. And it's kind of self-absorbed if you think about it. You really are self-absorbed when we're in those thoughts. We're comparing ourselves to someone else. We're in a pity party of one. We're beating up ourselves. It's like when we're in that spot, who are we serving? Who are we helping? We're not even serving ourselves. It's a form of hiding, and it's not working. It's really not working. I had a client that came to me in 2021. I'm not going to give her name because the details I want to share would make it not appropriate. And she was in that spot of wanting to quit. She was over it. But she was mindlessly scrolling to escape her feelings, as we all do, which usually doesn't end up very well, but sometimes it does. And she came across one of my videos. She had never heard of me before. And something told her after watching it that she had to reach out to me. And despite being in this rock bottom spot wanting to quit, she made a choice to listen to her intuition. And really, what did she have to lose, right? Maybe that I wouldn't reply. That was her only risk. There's nothing to lose when you reach out to someone. To reach out to DM me, you're not risking anything other than the risk of not liking the feeling if I don't reply. And by the way, I do reply. I spend 2 hours a day inside my DMs still. If you go back to the early podcast episodes, I made a point of saying that all the time. I spend 2 hours every single day in my DMs answering questions and getting to know you better. I still do. It's not all in one period, but I do spend that much time in there. And I want to. Don't think you're getting like elaborate free coaching in there. That's not why. But yeah, I want to get to know you better. I mean, I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing this for the greater good. So I want to know who are my listeners, who's in my audience. Like, I love joking around with you guys. Anyway, so she humbly shared her current situation with the coaching business she so badly wanted to be successful, which is helping women overcome low self-worth, which is something she'd done herself, and came up, with some form of a process that she wanted to teach to other women. And she was doing all the things, she even hired other coaches, did courses. So she invested money. She wasn't just all on the free stuff. She was trying everything. Nothing was sticking. And her DM was really long. And any of you who have left me a long DM, you guys always say this, always apologize. Like, I'm sorry for dumping this all on you. And you never have to be sorry, because the only way I can help you is by you giving me more information. So, and I appreciate the vulnerability it takes to do that. And I had her apply for my private 2-month coaching program because I wanted to make absolutely certain I was the best person to get her the real results she's been trying desperately to get for, 6 months now. And I'm well aware, she's invested a lot of money in other things that didn't connect. So I don't want to take someone on who I don't think I can get there. So after about 10 minutes on a call with her, I immediately saw the holes in her business, and I knew what needed to be done to fill them. But so what? She still had a giant, scary leap of faith that she had to take in order to get my direct customized help in her business. She would have to invest more than she ever has, even though she has paid for other things before that hasn't turned out, so there's a little bit of PTSD with that. But what was her other plan? Her other plan would be to continue to use the, I hope this works as a strategy, or to quit. And clearly, she wasn't going to quit, or she wouldn't have DM'd me, applied to work with me, be on the call with me. And I'm not in the business, nor should you be, of convincing anyone. I don't need to convince anyone to work with me. It's your job to have that talk with yourself about you taking the risk and doing the damn thing. I know exactly what I'm capable of and what I'm not. And the rest is on you. I'm not here to drag anyone along, right? So she took the risk. She followed through and did the work. She remained humble, open, and willing, even when the extreme fear popped up, which it always does. I know which session too. It starts when I have you guys actually launch your stuff. There's not one person who doesn't have resistance and meltdown. She chose to trust me, herself, and the universe when nothing seemed to be working, even after 5 weeks of me. Because it's like, it's not working. And then she had to keep surrendering and choose to trust the process. The first half of 2021, she made nothing. Zero. She recently just shared with me her final number for 2021 was $107,000. And it was all made in the last 4.5 months of the year, more than she's ever made in her life. And I'm sharing this story, not sitting here to like toot my own horn, but, toot toot. I mean, she had to show up and do the work. But when the students are ready, the right teachers do appear. And she had to trust her intuition with it and then still do the scary thing anyway. But just because it's going a certain way right now in your business, in your personal life, it doesn't mean it has to end up that way. It's a matter of what wildly scary and different actions are you going to take to get the results you desire. And yeah, I know you've taken some wildly scary risks already and they've not paid off. Well, that's why they're called a risk. I've taken a lot of risks that have not paid off, and I've taken a lot of risks that do, and I'm risk adverse. I'm an actual very hard sell. So I understand what your brain does when you're trying to get over that fear of, okay, like this is scary. I can do this. Like, what if this doesn't work? What if I don't make the money back? What if I'm just putting myself more in the hole here? The what if? Well, what is your plan if you don't? Because you're going to just waste more time and energy and money by continuing to have nothing work because you don't have a plan. You don't have a proven process. So when nothing feels like it's working in your life, one, you've got to put the focus back on yourself and pour into yourself. You've been probably pouring too much out. Two, what can you do that is going to make you show up and show up in a different way and show up regardless? Because self-will is not a plan. Self-will is not going to cut it. Even for those of us who have a lot of self-will, I'm one of those people. It doesn't cut it. I have to put major money on the line. I have to have more than one coach. I have to have accountability in multiple areas of my life because it would be easier for me to luxuriate and not do any of this. I don't have to be doing any of this. I have to remind myself of that. I really don't. Do I want money continuing to come in? Yes, but I could sit here and focus all my time on my various passive income streams and my investments and sit behind a screen all day and kind of work on those and have plenty of money coming in. But that's not what I'm here to do. That's great, but that's not enough for me, and that's not what I'm here to do. And if I'm here to do, which is help all of you be able to make the money that I know you want to make, that freedom level cash that zero fucks given cash where you can get the extra avocado guaranteed every time. You can buy the expensive yogurt, not the one that's on sale. You can go on 6 trips a year if you want, without question. You can go rent a wildly expensive beach house for as many months as you want to soothe your soul if you so choose. That's what I want for you. And I want you to be able to make it for yourself and not depend on any person, place, thing, or institution for that money. Because the level of empowerment and confidence that comes from that is so powerful. And if I can do it, there's no way you can't do it, because I am one of the least likely people to be an entrepreneur. Truly, I am. And it's like, well, how is that, Tiffany? You seem so confident, this, that, and the other. Like I said, I'm risk adverse. I'm not an organized person. I am naturally lazy. I'm not joking when I say that. I am the world's laziest business coach. I'm not available for working hard unnecessarily. I prefer to spend my time luxuriating. I easily drift off into space. I can stare at a corner. I can stare at the corner here and then I look down and it's been an hour. Like I'm like one of those, it's like a daydreamer dissociation activity. And I like certainty. I'm rooted in certainty. I'm an earth sign. I'm an Enneagram 6. I'm an abuse survivor. PTSD survivor. We like certainty. We don't like change. We don't like being sidewhacked. We don't like it when things don't work out, even though we've done all the things. It sucks. But if I want what I say I want, then I've got to show up and do the things regardless. You can't have one without the other. You know, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And some of you are trying to do that. Oh my God, I almost forgot. See? And I have a crap short-term memory, but that's probably for other reasons. I digress. I almost forgot though. I am offering an additional half scholarship. I decided I wanted to do this. And I haven't even told my team yet, which I should probably send them an email after I record this. I've decided to open up one spot for a half scholarship for Selling with Soul. We start on Wednesday. And it's okay if for whatever reason you can't make the first live session, because it's a combination of pre-recorded modules, workbooks, scripts, and then you get a live session with me every week. But those are all saved and you have access to them for life. But one half scholarship. So you've been seeing all this stuff with Selling with Soul. You want to learn from me. You're tired of being where you're at. You don't want to be using, I hope this works as a strategy anymore. And you were kind of tripping like, I want to do it. The money scares me. God, maybe I should have done it. Well, this is your sign. Half scholarship. Here's what you have to do. You have to plead your case. You need to email us at support@projectmewithtiffany.com. So support@projectmewithtiffany.com. And you need to let us know what this half scholarship will allow you to do. Because I don't want people trying to get the half scholarship because they're like, oh, I just want a discount. No, I need to know why this half scholarship will allow you to do Selling with Soul. So the half scholarship would make Selling with Soul only $1,500 for you. That's it. And to get what you're getting from me at that is craziness. I give away $150,000 worth of scholarships a year. I don't know if you guys knew that. This is one way I pay it forward for people who are in certain predicaments and circumstances where they can't get a loan. They only have so much room on their credit card. They're having to hide doing this from a spouse, or it's just too much of a stretch. They just invested in something else with someone else that was crap. And now they're kind of tapped out. So this is why I do it. So email for that half scholarship, but you need to do it like ASAP at support@projectmewithtiffany.com. Put in the subject line half scholarship and share with us what this would mean for you, what this would do for you. So this would make it only $1,500 for you. And we already have a full scholarship person in Selling with Soul and another half scholarship person in there. And I wanted to make sure I extended it. I just felt it was the right thing to do. So take this as your sign if you were like feeling like crap. I really know I need to learn this. I need to learn the tangible actions to take, what to focus on and what to not focus on that will prioritize bringing fresh cash into my business. My programs, whether it's working with me privately, you're in my Posse membership, you do Selling with Soul, these are not information-based programs. You don't need more information. These are action transformation based. You need fresh cash coming into your business like yesterday. Without fresh cash coming into your business, you don't have a business. You have a jobby. You have a time-sucking, expensive hobby. We need to revitalize, re-energize with an influx of cash into your business so then you can pay down other investments you've made in your business. You can further invest in your business. And it also will give you an amazing internal abundance spike. Like, oh my God, I can do it. Like, people are paying me. I make money. I love it when this happens for you guys. You forget there's billions of people in this world. You need a micro fraction of people to buy from you. I shared in my Instagram stories last week, and I don't know if you guys saw it, but I made a really elaborate graphic. Haha. I made it like right in Instagram stories, but I'll share it with you. I just want to give you an example because I know you're feeling like, is this really possible for me? Can I really do this? Did I start too late? Did I get on Instagram too late? Whatever. Do I not have what it takes? Am I too old? Whatever crap you have running through your head right now is all crap. So let me just give you the facts. Dealing in facts and action are the two best ways to stop that nasty inner bully of yours, is getting into clear action, which is what I focus on sharing with you on what to do, and fact-based stuff, because it's very hard to argue against that. So here's an example. Let's say you have 180 followers. 60 are family and randos who don't buy from you. Okay. I like working with very conservative numbers. Everything I share with you, I don't give you fantasy numbers. And most marketers will tell you should give fantasy numbers. Yeah, I probably would make more money if I gave you fantasy numbers, but I'm not about that life. I'm going to conservatively tell you what really is for sure possible for you. And everything above that is amazing. Okay, 180 followers, 60 are family and randos who won't buy. So you have 120 followers. And this could be on Instagram. This could be Facebook. You could have 120 people in your email list. It could be on TikTok. Okay, it's whatever platform. 3% of your audience is ready to buy from you at any given time conservatively. This has been studied and proven over and over again. So in this case, and yes, I had to use a calculator, 3.6 people at minimum will be buying from you per month. So let's just make it 3 people. So 3 people times $1,000 offer is $3,000 a month. That's all you need. The audience size isn't the problem. The problem is you do not have a proven process that feels good to you to attract new ideal clients, to package your offer so it's exciting for them and irresistible for them, and then convert them into buying from you. That is the problem. This is what Selling with Soul solves, is that problem. You don't have that foundation in there. You don't have that system in your business, and one, again, that feels good to you. If it doesn't feel good to you, you won't keep doing it. I don't care how pretty your graphics are, how many followers you have, how much content you pour out. It will absolutely not work, and you won't be able to make the money you want to make. So I wanted you to hear that from me. Your brain is telling you a lot of nonsense, that you need more of this, you need to do more of this, you need to be more of this. Not true. It's very simple what you need, but the reason you avoid it is because in order to really learn that, A, you've got to get into action, and B, you've got to put real money on the line. You're not going to get a proven system for $597, okay? If it's too good to be true, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. My dad taught me that, right? So that's not going to happen. So a half scholarship, I'm going to give one. I may end up giving two. I might be in a mood if I'm really compelled by what you write to us. So write at support@projectmewithtiffany.com, put half scholarship in the subject line, and let us know, what is that going to allow you to do? What is that going to mean for you? Please be sure to include your full name and your Instagram handle in there. That'd be really helpful. We start on Wednesday. Doesn't matter if you can attend the live trainings or not. It doesn't matter. If my program required you to attend the live trainings to get results, I would have clearly disclosed and stated that. That's not facts. That's just more crap your head is making up. But go and really have a moment with yourself and go, what can I do to pour back into myself? Because I need to pour back into me in order to best serve anyone around me and myself. And remember, just because it isn't going the way you want right now, and it doesn't look pretty, and it looks like a mess, and there's no validation coming to you, that doesn't mean it's going to end up that way. Just go back to that example that I just shared, okay? Just because the year starts a certain way, that doesn't mean it has to end up that way. Just because a relationship you have with someone is in a current not so fun state, that doesn't mean it has to end up that way. But what are you going to do about it? What actions are you going to take? That part's up to you. Wishing you guys great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.